How's the first couple days been?
Not bad, actually. Good. Pretty good. My biggest thing I'm trying to do is put together like a list of 50 agents, but that's going to require me hitting some serious. I figure the fastest way to do that is hitting open houses tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going through open houses and try to get to 50 as, hopefully in the next few weeks, hit as many as I can. Because I really don't have that many agents to call. That's my biggest problem.
Yeah, I get that. Totally. So
the last 2 days, just putting a plan together.
I love that. Well, we'll talk about all that today. We're going to talk a lot about lead generation and how to do some of that stuff. And I'm the same as you. I've got a lot of realtors, but just trying to get some more. So we'll talk a lot about that today, which will be great. So cool. Love it. Jeff, how are you doing, man?
Hey, I'm hanging in there, fighting the flu this week.
It sucks.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Griffin, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Hanging in there, doing my thing, working away. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays are always full. There's lots of stuff going on, so which I will take. How's everything been for you? What's good?
I sat in an open house over the weekend. I did, and then I visited 5 on Friday.
Oh, nice. How'd they go?
It was good. First open house I've ever sat on, so that was a new experience. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, was it an agent that you know?
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Where was the house?
Cave Creek.
Nice. What was it listed for?
1-1.
Oh, nice. That's good. That's a good size deal.
That is.
Cool.
We'll see what happens.
Love that. It's really cool. Did you guys get a lot of traffic or no?
No. We got two groups came through. So
Yeah. How long were you there?
3 hours.
It's a long time. So a couple things for me, whenever I've sat open houses, I don't sit open houses and I don't sit them up for that very reason. I'm not a realtor. So I don't have 3 hours to sit there trying to correct me on.
Yes, we did not have anybody come through. However, me and Griffin are now BFFs. Okay.
Oh, so it was your
I
It
told
was
you
my
to do
open
it.
house. Yes, trust me, I'm gonna sit there too. Okay.
Yeah, well,
Like,
for both of you, here's a couple tips. So, and I see agents do this and most of them aren't very good at it, but number one, don't waste the time, right? If you're going to go and you're going to sit open house with an agent, I would tell the agent, hey, when we go, let's bring a call list. Let's make some calls today as well and spend a half hour, 45 minutes. Someone comes in, you stop, and then you do it. That way you can work together. I just find that it's more productive. And if the agent's like, I don't want to do that, then you're like, well, what are we going to do? We're going to waste 3 hours. Like, we might as well use it to try to get more business, right? Or to call around or to find out what other listings are there. So be proactive with it if you're going to sit them because you're not a realtor. And I think you provide value, right? If they see you calling and dialing, then they know you're hustling. So, I think it would provide more value. But like I said, normally I don't sit them. So, or if you are going to sit them, another opportunity would be like, hey, bring them a coffee, be there for the first 30 minutes, then tell them, hey, I'm going to jet back. I'm going to come back in 30 minutes. I'm going to go around to some of these open houses. I'll do some intel for you, and then I'll come back. Now you're meeting other agents and you're doing other open houses, and you can tell them what you saw when you were there. So a couple different ways to do it, depending on who the agent is. That way you don't have to do it twice. So 3 hours on a Saturday is not something I would do, but that's why I'm not a real estate agent. So.
It was a lot. To be fair, there was some kind of crime event happening behind the library in Cave Creek, and there was like 40 police cars in the freaking wash. Like, I'm not even kidding you. So I think I might have deterred some people. So I did have to do it Sunday. Like, I wanted to cancel it after Saturday, but it was already in there for Sunday. So I did end up having to go do it. And I did get 4 groups that came through.
Good.
So just going to put that out there.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Hey, look, they're valuable. It's just for us on the loan side, right? I use the time wisely, right? Like if I'm going to be there for 3 hours, as much as I want to spend, I would spend 2 hours talking to Lindsay for sure. But if it was another agent, I'd be like, hey, let's work together and let's do some stuff, or just pop by, their stuff. So just think of different ways that you can be creative on it. But I love that, which is really good. Becca, what's going on in your world? We're on week 3. We only have 3 more weeks together after this week. So.
I know. It's so good. Eric, you're really great. I really appreciate what you're sharing with us. Good. I was in Seattle for a cheer club all weekend, so just got back and
nice.
They won. They won.
They were awesome.
That's good. Winning is better than not winning. So I like that. That's really good. Good. What's good in work? What is the thing you've been the most aware of over the last couple of weeks?
That how amazing it is when you do your schedule the day before and then you look at it in the morning and maybe kind of like this morning, I spent like 15 minutes just kind of getting a couple of my frogs organized. Yeah. I feel like I'm like out the gate and already halfway down half a lap going. It's so powerful. So when I'm organizing my morning routine, it has to have that in there.
Good. I love that. That's cool. Lance, how about for you?
Well, my world right now is fighting with underwriters. So,
Linz, I get it. You got like 4 different jobs because you're crazy. I'm a realtor. I'm a loan officer. I'm also like the person that runs the show. So that's fun. Yeah. Good for you.
What's good in my world? So last week I started taking Wednesdays and managing the pipeline for our operations staff.
Cool.
It was a little clunky. There are some definite process improvements that can happen that I will be working on implementing. So, hopefully getting that dialed in will make the entire process more seamless to everything.
Cool. Love that. That's good. Yeah. Good. I love it. That's awesome. Super cool. Lance, how about for you? Are you rudderless without a captain?
It's gonna be that way for a little bit, yeah. Till the knee heals up, of course. But ultimately, to answer your question, I think the biggest thing is figuring out like my calendar and then the specific tactics. You know, they're actionable, specific, timely things like that. And we've kind of had similar things like in my life where it's like a SMART goal. Essentially, where it really has a lot of similarities to what you're referring to, but actually focus on doing that. Say you're going to do something, not just be like, oh yeah, we'll get it done, but actually it's really setting specific boundaries on it, and then of course sticking to it.
I love it. What's the number one that you've done recently that's had the most impact?
For me, it's actually scheduling realtor calls. I have to force myself to do it. I'm not always having to call and say, hey, how's it going? Let me tell you about something, but trying to nurture those relationships. Like that's something you kind of have to do if you want to. Top of mind.
When did you schedule it?
Like I text them to say, hey, you available for a quick call?
Yeah, I know, but when are you scheduling that time to make those calls?
I try to do it in the afternoon. So right after lunch is usually 12 to 1 is when I try to do that.
So you're making your calls during lunch hour from 12 to 1?
No, after. I usually eat lunch.
So when do you make the calls? When have you scheduled the calls? So let's be specific, right?
For
we'll
sure.
put you on the hot seat. So I love that you want to make realtor calls, but when are we scheduling the calls?
The tougher part with that is you're working around someone's schedule too.
You can have reasons or results. You can't have both. You want to set appointments and you want to talk to agents. When are you going to call agents?
I'm going to say let's do 2 to 3. It seems like
2 to 3. How many
2 to
days a
3
week?
p.m. I think 3 is what we're doing right now.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Tuesday, Thursday?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Cool. Did you write it down on a piece of paper in front of you?
I did not, because we're kind of
Cool.
discussing
Well, you
now,
should write
but
it down
let's
on
do
a piece of paper in front of you, and you should put it on your calendar from 2 to 3 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm making realtor calls. You should tell Mike Cook, I'm unavailable from 2 to 3, Mike, because I'm making realtor calls and I'm building my business that helps Upland, and I don't think he's going to bother you from 2 to 3 because I know Mike. Then you're going to tell him at 3 o'clock, I'm going to check back in with you, Mike, to make sure that anything you need me to do from 2 to 3 is taken care of, and I will get all that done by 3:30. Super simple, super easy, 2 to 3. That's how you make a specific goal, guys. Does that make sense? They're all, remember, we talk about this stuff. It's just ideas, but we have to whittle it down, right? And I appreciate Lance walking through that with you because that's just an exercise, right? And as a person in charge, I actually talked to, and this is just a reminder. So you, Lance, I don't know how much you know, but like Mike Cook was my first LOA. I was an LOA for Mike Cook. 20 years ago, I got into this business and I became an inside loan originator in 2007. I sat in front of his desk just like you did, and I remember him coming over my shoulder on a Friday afternoon at 4:30. He was leaving the office, and do you know what I was doing at 4:30 on Friday afternoon, Lance?
You tell me.
I was calling realtors. And he looked at me and he said, you're going to be really good at this. And that was it. And I've closed $100 million for the business. Now I'm sharing that story with you to tell you, like, he's good. He wants you to be a great loan officer. So if you tell him from 2 to 3, I'm calling realtors, leave me the freak alone, he's going to leave you alone because he knows the rest of the time you can get your other stuff done. So that's just to encourage you, like you can be in control of your schedule. You are not at his whim. Your job is to become a loan officer if that's what you want. And our job here, guys, is to be specific with our calendar and the time that we set, right? So that's why we're going through this. So that's just to encourage you, right? But those are things like you don't think you remember. Like I don't remember that, but like it hit me about a week and a half ago, and it's something that's been reminding me. Like Mike looked over my shoulder on a Friday and was like, you're going to be really good at this. And since then, now we work together, we're like partners in Upland or whatever, but like those are the things that you're capable of. So I just want to encourage you. So 2 to 3, put it on your calendar, tell Mike about it, block it out. Trust me, nothing happens in an hour in a day that cannot be solved. Now it's hard to do, right? Because we all are through stuff. Lindsay sees it. I get bad news at 5:30 and I'm getting all wound up and I go, take a deep breath, Eric. It's the world's not caving in, right? These are the things that we have to get better at, and that's the mental side of the stuff. Today, though, I want to talk about how do we get more leads, right? Because we all have lead metrics. So I'm going to go back to remind me what your lead metrics are. How many leads are you going to want to generate every month? I think I wrote them down, so I'm going to hold you guys accountable. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I have all my little sheets here. Yep, I got it. Griffin, how many leads do you need to
one a
get?
month.
Oh my gosh, I hate Zoom. It always has these garbage spam calls. Sorry. Go ahead, Griffin.
I said,
You want to close 9 deals, so how many leads do you need a month?
basically 1
No.
less.
Wrong. No. If you want to close 9 deals, remember, what's the metric?
9 this year, not 9 a month.
I understand,
Yeah.
but you still have to break it down to how many leads you need per month.
I haven't broken that down to the decimal
Well, that's
point.
why we're here. All right.
Okay.
So
Isn't it
9
20%?
deals in a year,
Fine.
and you need 27 to 30 leads this year.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
I remember
Because
now.
remember, when you get 36 leads, you're going to app 65 to 70% of them, and you're going to close 30% of the total leads that you get. So if you want 9 closings, you need 27 to 30 solid leads in the year, which then you can just break down and go, I only need 2 leads a month. That seems boring to me, but for sure, go for it. That's also like, that's all you need. Like, you should probably be like, I could get 1 lead a week. Like, And if you got 1 lead a week, that's 52 leads. That's 32 applications. That is 50% of that, 16 closings in a year. Now again,
Yeah.
leads aren't easy, but we're going to talk about how to generate leads. So that's your number. So everybody else, so Nick isn't on here. Tyler, you wanted 24 per month, right? 24 leads per month. Is that right? Am I correct on that number? Yep. Cool. Becca, what was yours?
Well, mine was 10 a month because I was going to do 2 to 3.
Good. That's perfect. I love that.
That's
So 10
24 to
leads a month.
36.
Cool. Love it. Awesome. Lindsay?
I probably need a 10 as well. I mean, in
10?
reality. Yeah.
Okay. 10 good leads a month. I like it.
Yep.
Cool. Tyler, how many leads have you had this month?
2.
2.
Yeah.
Got some work to do.
Oh,
Griffin,
good.
how many leads have you had this month?
None.
Becca, how many leads have you had this month?
2.
Lance, how many leads have you had this month?
2.
2. All right. So we've got to find a way to get more leads, which means we just need more people. Cool. Again, I'm a guy that's like, face it in reality, right? What you should write down somewhere is, and it's baby steps, so don't get discouraged. It's just baby steps. But again, Becca, break it down. It's like, my job this week is to get 2 leads. 2 people. So you're going to have to get more specific in your conversations too. Does that make sense? We're going to have to start finding ways to generate those things. So be very specific in your week, right? Design your week and go, okay, how do we do this one thing at a time? Okay. And we're going to break it down to the 90-day, but that's to the 90-day work thing, but that's how we want to do it. So those are all really good. Jeff, you had 6 closings per year is what you were shooting for. Is that right? Or am I wrong on that?
No, that was per month. When I'm
You had
shooting
6
for.
closings per month.
Right.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, cool. So you need
Lot of
18 or 20 leads. Yep, 18 or 20 leads a month. So, okay, cool. How many leads have you had this month?
I had, I think, about 6 already.
Okay, that's good. I love that. That's good. Awesome. Well, just keep working on that, guys. That number is really important, right? Number of leads or conversations that you have with clients that are actually considering buying or selling. Okay. I can't stress these things enough, Tyler. Be patient. A contract that came in yesterday. Do you know how long I've been talking to this borrower?
How long?
2 years.
I got one of those right now.
Yeah, like I just want you to encourage you. Like you don't know what's going to come, right? That's why you just have to stay with it, right? It's a sum game, right? Over time, right? So you're like, oh, I picked up this deal, or I get street, like it's crazy to me, right? But that's like we talked about that before. You never want to let them go. You want to be their best friend for forever. So, which I think is really cool. All right, let's talk about leads. Let's talk about what are some ways that we can build relationships. And Tyler, you or really get to know people, because one of the things that's important, and Tyler, I love that you set that goal. You want to get 50 agents on your list, right? And we could spend a whole hour just talking about how many agents that we have, because that is where the bread and butter comes from for our business, right? So if you know anything about obviously being an originator for a while, there's really kind of 3 or 4 silos, right? Of where business comes from. Most of your business is going to come from realtors. 50 to 60% of your business will come from realtors. Then you're going to have 15 to 20% that's going to come from past clients. You'll probably have 5 to 10% family, 5 to 10% business. So we need to spend and focus the majority of our time on realtors. And why? Well, because realtors are the ones that are on the ground out there trying to generate the business as well, right? So they're the ones that are having the conversations. People come to them, they ask about houses usually. So keep that in mind. When we want to generate more leads, we have to have more realtors. So the first step is, how do we meet more realtors? Tyler mentioned it today before everybody jumped on the call. He's realizing, and Griffin, you've been doing this too, going to open houses. So open houses is a great place to meet realtors. Now, when you go to open houses, though, I want you to be tactical about open houses, right? You can't just walk in with nothing, right? I mean, you could, but I think what you really should look at trying to do is, how do I elevate this game when it comes to new realtors? And so when we're talking about open houses and going to the open houses, what are you bringing them of value? Griffin, when you go to Tyler, go ahead.
I don't know if it's a value, but I'm trying to get them to remember me. So I typically come in with a gift bag, with a coffee mug, business card, a pen, lip balm, and some flyers, just like $2,500 seller program, a couple flyers about us. So I drop that off just to hopefully that they remember me. And then, like, I started 2 weeks ago hitting open houses consistent again. And then on Monday, I follow up with them. Hey, thanks for letting me cruise through and give them my contact information. But what I've done in the past is when I go, I reach out a couple times and then I fall off and flake out.
Yeah, because it's going to take a long time, right? It's going to take, 7 to 10 conversations before somebody likes you. Like, you should write that down. Like, even if you meet them, you have to talk to them 7 to 10 times, which means you probably have to call them 40 times, right? We understand that. Like, you can't, like, you call them and you leave a message, you didn't talk to them. You have to have 7 to 10 conversations. So you're right. You can go 2 or 3, you're going to fall off. They'll forget about you, right? So, but that's good. I love that you're bringing something of value. Griffin, if you're not bringing something of value besides just your business card, you should. There's a couple different things you could do. If you have list reports and you know the open houses that you're going to, you could create a list reports flyer with a real estate report card and you could bring it to them. You could do a cost of waiting analysis, right? So you could use MBS Highway. I like being specific. If you're going to do 3 to 5 open houses, you could build a cost of waiting analysis on each of those using Mortgage Coach pretty quick, or using MBS Highway. There's also a
What
rent versus
info's-
buy.
For the list reports, what info is generally on there that gives value?
Oh, hold on a second. I can show you.
I guess this would be something that the realtor like doesn't have already potentially.
I mean, it depends on if they use list reports or not, right? So, and they should have most of it, but it just shows that you're thoughtful, right? I think at the end of the day, you'll find that most agents aren't great at knowing their stuff. And so, when you create or you have marketing kits.
And another thing about open houses, I mean, in my experience, at least 75% of the time, the agent who's hosting the open house isn't the listing agent. They put
Correct.
them
So
out
they
there.
don't know much.
So the agent that's there knows what's literally on the MLS. They haven't done, for the most part, any extra work as to anything specific about the property. So you coming in with something like that is super helpful.
Yeah, so you can see here, Lance, like when you're looking, they have these property report cards. So it has, like instead of bringing like a flyer, but it has like a report card on like what the house is, right? So it's got all these photos and then it's got a summary, but then it talks about the schools, very convenient, all this stuff, right? Schools in your area. So they might have list reports, they might not, but this is pretty easy to grab if you have the MLS listing, bring it with you and be like, hey, I'm blah, blah, blah from VIP Mortgage. We use list reports for some of our top listing agents. I'm not sure if you use that. Here's the list report for this property. Just thought I'd share it with you in case it's of something of value.
You
And
print
then
this
you have
out
a conversation from
every
there.
time?
What's that?
You print this thing out and bring it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Love
Yeah.
it.
I would print it. I mean, you could also save it as a PDF on your phone and you could share it with them. You could be like, hey, let me text you this list report, right? That would be another way to get in their phone, right? Now you've got their phone number and you're like, here, I'm going to send you a list report. We do this. You can print it off or whatever. Here's a hard copy, right? So again, all of that is just when we think about going to open houses, which I love, I just think it's like, if you don't bring something of value, then it's just, I'm trying to get something from you. That's how they're going to view that. Does that make sense? And so we don't want to be in that mode with them. We want to really bring them something of value. So I would say instead of trying to hit 6, do 3. Now, again, you could do the same list report, but have it, you could be on the specific property, or you could just create a generic one. And you could be like, hey, we create these. I wasn't sure if you had this or not. Would you like me to create you one? And truthfully, you could do it probably from your phone, like right there on the spot, and then send it to them. It doesn't take that long for them to build, right? So you can be creative with some of that stuff, but open houses is a great way, obviously, to add agents to your roster of people that you want to talk to, okay? What are some other ways that you could generate realtor relationships or get information from realtors? What are some other ways that you could meet them, that you could add in? Because you can't just do open houses. You got to be creative. So what other things could you do?
I was just going to say, I mean, Becca does this right now, and, she joined Scottsdale Association of Realtors. So that is the perfect opportunity to go out and meet literally all the realtors. She wants to market in this area. That was another opportunity there to really grow that networking and referral partner base.
Yeah, I like it. Joining associations is great.
And there are associations all over the valley. There's Phoenix, there's West Valley,
Yep.
and I just got on a committee. So I'm trying to serve in it
Good.
versus just go there and ask for business. So I'm on RAPAC and I'm the charity coordinator for one of the tours.
That's good. And that's what I was just going to say. Joining the association means nothing if you're not going to do more, right? So you want to get with the other partners and you want to find a way to do things like sponsoring CE classes, right? Why do we sponsor CE classes, guys? We're not getting deals from it, but what are we getting when you sponsor a CE class?
Provide value.
You're providing value, you're getting a list of agents, and you're getting follow-ups. Like that's what you're getting, right? Why do you sponsor a CE class with 8 to 10 agents, or why do you host a class? So sponsor a CE class or becoming the expert on a topic is really good. Tyler, what were you going to say? What were you going to add?
Basically the same thing. I called WeServe earlier.
Yeah.
I think I called WeServe and just talked to them, but about their home tours and stuff like that. But I just didn't know if they were worth it, spending 3 hours on a home tour, driving in separate cars. But then I was thinking, okay, get on the committees and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Might be more
Yeah. I mean, I think what you have. So again, when I've done them in the past, when I do the open house tours, I usually will take an agent that I know. Okay, so I will invite that agent to go on the tour with me. If I'm just attending the tour, then I'm not an imposition. And then usually they'll know people on the tour that they can introduce you to. Does that make sense? So find somebody on the tour. If you want more information, so Jason and Kyle, I was coaching them yesterday, Jason does open house tours regularly. Nick Watland is doing them regularly. So Jason's metric on it was he did about 20 of them last year. They cost him money, but he has closed 5 of the transactions that he had were from one of the agents that he met on there. And so you're going for volume, but one agent sending you 5 transactions over a year, when you start doing the math, it more than paid for it. Now, again, his goal this year is, can I get 2 or 3 more agents or 4 agents this year? It's a long play. It's not something that you can do overnight, but he hosts them, he runs them. And if you wanted to go on one of the ones that he has, Tyler, I'm sure he'd let you come along and you could see how he operates it. Because again, there's a difference between attending a open house tour and running the open house tour. There's a difference between, again, sponsoring a CE class is okay. If you could coach or host a CE class, that is even better, right? Because it just elevates your status and you're running it. Does that make sense? So they look at you a little bit differently. And what he does is he tries, agents are kind of squirrely because they're squirrely and they're agents. He tries to get it to where like only a few people drive and then they all meet back up at the same place. But he has a whole script on it. And that way he gets FaceTime. He never drives. So even if all 6 of the agents drive, he'll get in each of their different cars and he'll have them drive him from place to place. That's how he gets more FaceTime. And that's how he decides this agent sucks or this one's weird. And you know what I mean? It's not every agent you want to work with. So anyhow, sponsor CE class, open house is a great one. Another thing that you can do with broker opens, right? So some of these things cost money and I get that, but if you can talk to brokers or you have a good agent and they're doing a broker open, sponsor a broker open, work with a title company, do all of that stuff. That's where you're going to meet some agents, get their information and then start attacking them. So those are really good ones. Another one, you guys don't have, like, if I said to you, call 10 agents, would 10 agents pick up your call immediately?
Yes,
Would 15 agents?
probably not.
Okay. So you have 10 agents, right? Like
So
that's the
10.
metric. The metric, Griffin, is
Good
if I call,
relationships with them.
yeah. I mean, look, you're going to call some that aren't going to pick up. But the question for me is like, I believe I probably have 40 to 50 agents that if I call them, they will return my call. Does that make sense? Like they'll return my call. Now there's probably another 100 that probably won't return my call, but there's 40 to 50 that I have a relationship deep enough with that when I call them, they'll return my call, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like when we work towards this on the realtor side, that's what you've got to start thinking is who's going to pick up my phone call? That's how you know they're your realtor. Even if they don't send you a lot of business. Does that make sense? Like if they pick up your call and they send you 1 deal a year, that's your realtor. Anybody that's willing to pick up your call. And then you're going to call a bunch of other people that don't. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because one of the things that you could do to increase the number of realtors is we love warm introductions, right, Griffin? So you don't know a lot of agents. Lindsay's a really good one. I don't know how many other agents Lindsay knows, but you could go, hey, Lindsay, I really enjoyed sitting at your open house. Do you have any other realtors that you know of that you could introduce me to via email? Lindsay goes, yeah, I met a couple. I'll introduce you. I think you're a great guy. They might want you to sit their open houses. Cool. I'd love to sit those open houses with them. Could you introduce me to them via warm email? She says yes. She said, hey, thank you. And when they do that, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask them to go to lunch with you and I. My treat. I'll buy you lunch. You'll come with. The 3 of us will have lunch. Does that sound good? Sounds great. So now you've got a warm introduction to an agent, which you're going. Lindsay's going to say you're the best thing since sliced bread. And now you're going to treat Lindsay to lunch along with this agent who she enjoys hanging out with. And now you can build a relationship. Some of the best relationships I have were because agents, I did this at one time in a former life. I'm going to start doing all this stuff. The dirty secret in all this, Tyler, is I'm coaching you all to get better at my own freaking job. Like it reminds me of all the dumb things I don't do. But again, it's a great idea. I have 40 agents that'll pick up my call. They probably know one other agent that I don't know. I could get 40 lunches just by doing that. Just by having that conversation. They can introduce me to somebody and I can treat them to lunch. That's easy. In fact, because I just said that out loud, Lance, I'm going to call my top 40 agents and I'm going to have them get me a buddy lunch. I'm going to stack my schedule with buddy lunches. That's how I'm going to meet 40 more realtors. Does that sound good? Cool.
We need to do it.
So again, those are the things that we have to be doing. So buddy lunches are great. So we've talked about open houses and broker opens. We've talked about sponsoring CE classes. We've talked about buddy lunches. So another one is when we talk about listing agents, and I know Lance, you were working in Griffin, you were working with Mike and creating a listing thing, like how to attack the listing agents. One of the ideas that I had that I was like, I really like this one and I haven't been doing it, video text. You should video text message the listing agent. I was on a call with Kyle yesterday, Tyler, and Kyle was frustrated because he has a client that's ghosting him. Rate stuff. We all lose to rate, guys. It just happens. Like I got a buddy that's a broker and he was complaining because he loses. I'm just like, yeah, dude, like a rate shopper is a rate shopper. Like they're inherently silly. Like they're like, you just can't win them all. But here's what I can tell you. You can put things in place to be successful. And I remind people of this all the time. And I reminded Kyle, did you do a Zoom call with your client? No, they don't care about you. So it got me thinking with listing agents, I got to get the listing agent to see my face. We have to become human to them. They will interact with you different. And even if that means video text messages, not just text message updates. I'd rather them have 6 video text message from me giving them an update when they don't answer the phone than for them not to see my face. Do you understand? So like when I do my Tuesday updates, if they don't answer, I need to, telling you guys I'm gonna do this, I'm hanging up and then I'm video texting them the update and I'm sending it to them. Because if they see my face, I am human. So when we do a great job, they're more apt to probably want to go to lunch with me. They're not afraid of me. They've seen me. Does that make sense? I know if I saw that person's face, I'd be like, yeah, like, let's do it. I get it. You did a great job. Make sense?
I'm
So
gonna do that.
another way to cement that relationship would be that. What do you think, Tyler?
I'm gonna do that today. I have to call this agent, let them know we're clear to close. I'm gonna send them a video text.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, guys. Like we have these technology things that I just don't think we use. We're hiding behind it. Like as they say, right, Becca, your face is your brand, right? Who you are is your brand. So that's what we need to be pushing out there. Cool. So those are always, and you think, well, how is this going to generate more leads? Well, you guys got to get more people that know you in the industry first. Then you're going to generate more leads. Does that make sense? So first things first, we've got to get there. Okay. The last one that I always work on is database. And if you want a testimonial on this, or what to make sure that you do, Griffin, this is especially for you, and Lance for you, because you guys are newer to the industry. You have to start mailing to your database. If you do not have a database of 100 people, your job is to create a database of 100 people, and you need to mail to them. If not every month, at least every other month. Your friends and your family and the people that went to your wedding, Lance, should hear from you every other month in the mail about what you do, because they will be the reason you succeed early on.
What do you mail them about? Like you said, at least once a month.
So let's talk about that. So the way that I was taught is called a letter of the heart. I pick topics that I want to write about. Now, it can be challenging if you're not a writer or you don't enjoy that. I enjoy spouting things that I've learned, right? So I take family experiences, something that struck me that I learned, and I mail it. I write it. It's a few paragraphs and I send it to clients. And then on the bottom, it just says, P.S. We're always here to serve you. I mailed to about 450 to 500 different people in my database. That cost me about $500 a month to get mailed out. So it's expensive. That's why I said start with 100 or 50. Okay. You just got to build it. I didn't start with 500 guys. I started with 50. Then I went to 100. Then I went to 150, blah, blah, blah. Because remember, 30% of my business last year, $12 million worth of business was past client database. So like, I don't get 40 million new realtors sending me business, right? Like it's like 12, I could stop doing what I'm doing, never talk to an agent and still close 12 to 15 million a year just by hitting my database.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've got to get to that point too, right? Like you've got to think, if I want to have a business that's sustainable, if I'm doing $100 million worth of business, I need 25 million of that to be past clients, which means you've got to be marketing to them. So Lance, I can give you some examples of letters of the heart. I can share with you guys as well. Essentially what it is it is you just talking to your clients. I sometimes will mix in letters of the heart, and then I will mix in like market updates and information, right? Things that are valuable to them. Okay. So if I'm you and you're like, I don't really love the personal side, then I would try to go one personal, one market update. You see what I'm saying? Like mix it up a little bit. But essentially all it is it is a letter of the heart, one page, folded, mailed, and then sent out. Does that make sense? What's that?
Handwritten.
Oh, no. You couldn't read my handwriting if you tried. I get so mad at my son for his handwriting, and then I look at mine and I go, nobody even knows how to read this freaking thank you card. Last year I had a goal and I didn't hit the goal. It was to write, I read the book by Jordan Peterson, 12 Rules to Live By. So what I did is I took each of his 12 rules, because again, I'm a math guy. 12 rules, 12 months, easy peasy, right? So I took each of his rules and then I just wrote about them, right? So like his rule 6 is don't cast judgment on others before taking care of your own house, right? So I basically just explained to them, this is what it looks like when it goes out. Does that make sense? So rule 4, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Then I wrote a little thing about it. Okay. So I wrote this, signed it, scan here to refer us. If you don't follow us, that's it. It's got the little U logo, upland. It's just branding. When you do this though, one of my best agents, she's like, I save every single one of your letters you write. I don't know. She's like a mom. She's weird, right? I'm like, my mom doesn't even save the letters that I write, but that's fine, right? But it's good
You print
stuff,
this
right?
out. You print this out, fold it, and mail it out to them.
Nope.
He sends it somewhere that does it for him.
Yes, I have a company called Minute Press. They have my entire database, so they have all of it. I send it to them. I edit it, send it to them. They mail it, print it. They do all the stuff, and I pay them for it. So again, I'm a guy that learns automation.
You didn't start out there, right? You didn't start out doing that.
No, I didn't start out there, right? Again, when you start out, it's always different, right? So you could print 50 of them, put them in, label them. Maybe you're at an open house with an agent, right? Like you can find ways to do things. And so I think when you're starting small, no, I did not have Minute Press to start, right? But Minute Press, if you do 50 or 100, it's 75 or $100. I get it. It's money, but like you should start doing this. If you do it twice a month, if you got one deal from it, I mean, if you spend $100 a month, it's $1,200. You got one deal, you paid for it, and you doubled the money, right? Most likely. So remember, investing is like spend 3-to-1 return. That's a good deal. Makes sense. So if I spend 1,000 and I get $3,000, it makes sense, right? So that's how you do that. So letters of the heart, but the more important thing on that is not so much that if you're interested in that, I can share more about that with you. But my point is you've got to find a way to do your database. And again, I would start with letters of the heart and I would start with birthdays. Those are the two things I would do. Spear is very good. You can pull every birthday from every client at the beginning of the month and you can write them a card every month and you could just send them happy birthday. You can create in Spear, it'll dial it up for you. It'll be like, here's all the birthdays that you have, all your closed and your prospects, and you could write them a card. And you won't have that many. When I did it for January, I had 34 birthdays and I have a lot more clients than you. Does that make sense? But you can call them on their birthday. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be creative with it. But birthdays and letter of the heart are the best way to manage your database. And if you're using Spear appropriately at the beginning of every month, you should print out the birthday list for all your agents and all your clients, and you should make sure a letter of the heart goes out or something written to your database.
You have that
Set a
hard-coded in
strategic
your
blocking
calendar.
time to do that.
Correct. And again, yes, you should put birthday list, and on Thursday's your database day, right? So I'm not doing this on Monday because why am I not doing it on Monday, Lindsay?
Because database days are Thursday.
Yeah, because Monday is realtor day. And I'm not doing it on Tuesday because Tuesday's status update day. And I'm not doing it today because today's lead day. So I don't care about my database until tomorrow. That's when I call
And
it.
Friday's
Well,
your
what if-
VIP day.
And the question goes, well, what if it's their birthday on Wednesday? Who cares? Call them and ask them how their birthday was yesterday. It doesn't matter. They don't care. Like, have you ever been mad, Tyler, if someone was like, hey, how was your birthday yesterday? No one gets mad at that. They don't know that you knew it was their birthday and didn't call them that day. Okay? Don't overthink it. I'm just telling you what people say. They overthink it. Go
I'm
back.
a plagiarizer. I love stealing people's ideas. And I heard this one guy, he's a realtor in North Dakota. He sends a happy birthday video and then he sends this little link that I found for Arizona. And it's all the free things you can get for your birthday. So,
Yeah.
and so I sent that and it's like, free Dutch Bros, free. People love it. It's just super easy.
Yeah. If you're not doing that, though, those are things you need to be doing. They're super simple. You don't have a big database. It's not going to take you that long, right? They're easy touch it points to your clients that you should be doing consistently, not once, but consistently. You got to set it and you got to put it in. This is how you will generate more leads. They will think about you 6 months later and they will call you for somebody that you need to talk to, or they will remind you that you need to reach out to them. Trust me. It's hard to quantify, guys, but I promise you that clients reach out to you because you're hitting them, even when you don't realize it. And they'll come when you're not expecting it. Happens all the time. The last one in how to generate more leads is, and this kind of goes with database, but Friday is VIP day. I'm not giving specific homework assignments, but with each of these theme days, you need to start having lists that you can reference so that it makes your life easier. I know it feels like homework and I know it sucks. And I know when I first started doing all this, I was like, I have 5 VIPs. Why am I doing this? But you just have to build the list. Okay. Your high level goal is you need to get 60 VIPs. 60. 60. And you need to call 15 of them every Friday.
Are these all realtors?
No, VIPs are not realtors. VIPs are accountants, financial planners, builders, your mom, your dad, your cousin, your brother. Like it can be anybody that is important to you. Like my wife is the #1 person on my VIP list. Of course, I call her more than on Fridays, guys, but it is important that she knows that I care about her. So I spend time going to breakfast with her and doing things with her. Does that make sense? My dad is on my VIP list. He's an accountant, but also he's an important person to me. So don't overthink it. Build relationships with people. I love it. It's like we overthink it. Like you can come up with 60 people in your life that are important to you. Maybe not, but you can come up with 20. You can come up with 30, right? And it can be people you don't talk to very often, but it's okay to call them. Okay. You're not calling them every week. You're just picking 15, right? So if you can build a list of 20, then call 5 of them every Friday till you build the list of 25. And with each of these things that you want to do to generate more leads, you then have to break it down. If I have 20, I also want to get 5 or 6 more, right? So you just got to slowly build it. Okay. So if I were to give you any homework, my homework would be for each of these lists, you've got to find a way to know what the number is currently, be honest with yourself, and then start finding a way to add, but then just start doing the work too. So it's threefold. Be honest with yourself and create the list. Number 2, start making the calls consistently, regularly for those days. And then number three, the thing that's really important is put a number around how many people you want to add and don't overdo it. Like Tyler, I love that you want 50. I don't want you to be discouraged, right? So one of the things that you would maybe want to do is go, what is realistically the number of agents that I could add in the next 90 days? So now bringing it full circle, one of the things that we talk about when we talk about this 90-day plan, when you put things into just a smaller subsection, it's easier for you to manage. And then over time, you will get there. So 50 is great, but I would challenge you, Tyler, to go, how many do I really have today? And what's realistically can I add? And not because you can't add more, you might, but realistically, how many do I really want to get on here? And what can I do in 90 days? And if in your gut you say, I could add 10, then that's your number. Does that make sense? And then your goal is, I'm going to get 10 people added. If your gut is like, nah, I can get to 50, then absolutely go for it. What I don't want you to do though is get 90 days in and be discouraged and be like, screw this, I'm done.
That's exactly what would happen too.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, we beat ourselves up, right? Because you're like, I only got to 15. Like, I'm the worst. And you're like, you're not. You just overshot the mark, right? Or you undershot the mark. But you'll get to 50. It just takes time. And it's like Lance asked, and he was correct. When I started my database, I didn't have 500 guys. I didn't get 10 million in past client business, right? Like, it wasn't there. Any questions on that? Because that's a lot of like, hopefully good information. Tyler, what's the one thing that stuck out to you that you're going to change or add based on our conversation today?
The biggest thing for me is we've already talked about getting a list of realtors, but I have to dial in my database. I do nothing but what goes out automatically through our system, and that's shitty. So I got to dial in going after the database, putting them on a call list, following up with them more.
Got it.
Realtors are my two big things right now to focus on.
Gotcha. How many people do you want to have on your database?
Oh my God. I would love to have, in the next couple of years, I would love to have 100 to 200.
90 days. How many do you have right now?
Added from now? Oh God, I'd be happy with 10.
Okay. So what you need to do is, so again, based on that, right? Because it's always like tactically how we break it down. So number one, you got to find out how many you actually have on your database. So if you're like, how do I do this? Okay. Number one, find out how many I have on my database. Number two, get 30 people on my database. Trust me, you know more than 10 people. You need to be like, get 30 people on my database. That's it. And you can go through Spear and look and then just extrapolate. I would tell you to do this. Take Spear and the people and go, I'm going to extrapolate this list, and then I'm going to go through who's on here and go, who are on my database that I want to talk to. Does that make sense? Yeah. And those are your 30 people. So just push yourself, right? Because I hear this all the time. And I'm like, everyone says they need to get a handle on their database. You're going to do a lot of stuff that's auto drip, Tyler. What I need you to have is, if you said to me, Eric, where's your database list? I would pull up my Excel spreadsheet and there's 489 names on there. And in HomeBot, there's 900. Which one is my database list? To me, my database list is the mailing database. Does that make sense? HomeBot, I got 978 people, but there's 478 of them that I'm like, I don't want to mail to you because you're not my people. You only need 300 to 500 people in your database. Okay. Now you got to get there. But my point is, I need you to like put that together, like tie that in and go, okay, database, but it's just like, we got to get that piece. Becca, how about for you?
I need to add, obviously. So one of my things is that I'm really referral strong with my database, but my database isn't big enough in Arizona because I haven't done enough deals to generate the business that I want. So one thing I need to do is I'm going to add a category of friends and family and Spear, because I don't put my friends and my family in my Spear. So that's one of the things that I'm going to do to beef up that database. I got to add to that. I need to start doing what we talked about with providing value to these realtors and, being proud of what we have to offer. I mean, I think the Upland Level Up is awesome. Just being more consistent on providing value so I can get them to be a referring source. I feel like sometimes realtors, like my ones in Canada, just were so good at referring. All their clients worked with me. And I feel like some of them here aren't that great at referring. So I want to bring that into my routine No,
I get that. Yeah, absolutely. So on your database, just so you guys know, this is my mailing database. Like I said, 489. There's 482 people on this. It's not rocket science. It's not in depth. It doesn't have a bunch of information. You know what it has? Their name and their address. It's my mailing database. When something bounces back, I just call them like, dude, you moved. Yo, doesn't happen very often. But this is made up of past clients, family, friends, and my top realtors do get my mailer. Okay. So there are realtors that are on here. Now, realtors come off and realtors go on this list. I have determined I don't want to pay more than $500 a month to do mailers. I will not add more than 500 people on here. And the reality is even on these 500 people, not all of them know me. Not like they should. You can't know that many people. It's hard. I want to share this with you because you guys all say database, but it's a simple Excel spreadsheet and it's just their name. It's a little bit of work. You can get 20 names on there in an hour. Like it's just set the hour aside, name, address, boom, save it, mailer, letter of the hearts. Again, because I'm just showing you that I do practice a little bit of what I preach. When you talk about all of your master lists, I have master lists for everything. I have my Christmas address list. I have my database list. I have my top 50. I have my new agents, my prospect lists, right? So I have all of these things at my fingertips and then they just adjust. I love Spear. I think you should be in Spear. This to me makes it real though. Just like we print our calendar, I print my realtor list.
Can we pull our realtor list from Spirit into an Excel spreadsheet?
Absolutely. Such a great point. When you go in here, if you've done a good job with Spear, while we're on how to use Spear, when you click on Spear, if you go into your contacts, anybody that you've added in will show up. So I go to contacts here, contacts, I click recently viewed, I click my realtors, and here are all of the realtors that are listed. Now, I think they're ranked, right, from platinum, gold, silver, bronze. So I did start ranking and categorizing them. So if I wanted to look at just my bronze realtors, I could do this. And then you click the little button over here and it exports them. So you should be able to go in and create your realtor list fairly quickly if you've been inputting their information, right? And I also have like a target list. So any listing agents, I list them as targets and I could be marketing to them separately. The people that I mail to are the people that send me leads and I close business with, just so we're clear. I do not mail to people that are not closing business with me because I'm not wasting that money.
Right.
Until they start giving me leads and we're closing deals, I don't mail to them. And if I haven't gotten a lead from them in a year, I go back and look at the list, I take them off. Or I try to reignite that relationship. Does that make sense? Because some people die, they fall off. Die not like the literal sense. I mean, some do. Lindsay, what's the one thing you're going to do based on that?
I am going to do the video text. I think that's a great idea.
You will kill it. Just
I think
smile,
that's an
send the
absolute
video.
great- right.
Yep.
And just giving the updates that way.
I love that. I love that. I would call them, and if they don't answer, then hang up. If you can talk to them, talk
Always
to them.
take the, yeah.
I'm like partially reminding myself, don't be lazy. Call them. They don't answer, hang up, then do the video text. Say, no need to call me back. Just wanted you to see my face. I'm doing your Tuesday updates as I promised. Here's where we're at. Here's what we're working on. If you need me, let me know. They'll probably thumbs up it, heart it, whatever. Cool. And then they move on, right? Lance, besides your 2 to 3, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, realtor call, now you need a realtor list, right? Probably gonna need to create that, but what else you got?
Really, it's creating a database where.
Good.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Yep. Remember, database, VIP, they're separate. Database close clients, VIP are the people that send you deals and love you and you love them. Cool. At the end of this, if you did a really good job, you should at least have 3 main lists: realtor, database, VIP. Those would be your 3 lists. Your status update changes because that depends on what closings you have, and your leads are going to change. Now you can create a lead list, but leads change because they come in, they come out. Got it? But your standard, like, hey, what lists do I need in my business? Those 3: realtor, VIP, database. Griffin, how about for you?
For me, it would be when I go to open houses, not going empty-handed would be really that's
Good, I
really
love
smart.
that.
And then I
Yes.
want to start doing realtor tours.
Realtor tours. Yeah, both are great. Dress up really nice, shiny boots, smile on your face. Let's go. That's how to do it. So ultimately, guys, remember, your lead metric is important. So I don't want to miss that either. If Becca, your goal is 10 leads, you need to track it. You can't get to January and go, I had 2 leads. The end of January. January is the biggest lead month of the year. Like, repeat it. It's the biggest lead month of the year, typically. Now, I'm not saying you won't get more leads because you're just building it out. But if I look back historically, however many leads we get in January, it kind of dictates where we're going to be. So just keep that in mind. Now, again, you guys are changing the tune by going through some coaching and moving in the positive direction. So don't get discouraged by it. But again, people make a lot of questions. They do a lot of stuff. And I think the spring's still going to be pretty busy for us this year too. But you should make sure that you're tracking that. And I don't want you to feel bad, but if you get to the end of the week and you're like, I didn't have any new leads, like you got to go, how do I get leads? It's got to be your number one thing. How do I get leads? How do I meet realtors? Right? Those are your 2 big things. Cool. Any questions? Jeff, sorry we didn't hit you. I know you had the flu, but what did you get?
I really need to dive into Spear. I haven't really spent any time in there and I'm missing a great opportunity. So I need to learn that.
Yeah, guys, I mean, there's stuff that goes out all the time. Like, I'm fascinated by it. I had a meeting with Andrea Romano yesterday for an hour, and she was showing me, where I can find like mailer, like my realtors that are in here are getting dripped on because I set up campaigns for it. So like I'm hitting them even when I'm not hitting them. So yes, if you haven't figured it out, start small and then try to figure it out. Cool. All right. The last 3 weeks, we're going to build the full marketing calendar. We're going to plan the 90 days and we're going to be set to go. Does that make sense? Those are the plan for the last 3 weeks. So we're going to start building out 90-day windows. Okay. Now we're going to be starting in February and we're going to push it, but we're going to go February and then we're going to go through April or middle of April. Like that's how we're going to start working this. All right. If you guys need me, I'm always here.